wanted to show you how I'm going to install this automatic fill valve into the top of my reservoir here. It's a Carc valve. I get it off of Amazon. It's $10 or $12. Worth every penny. As your tomatoes use up the nutrient solution and it gets less and less water in the reservoir, the concentration of the nutrients goes up and it'll be detrimental to the tomatoes. So the best thing to do is just to keep your reservoir full. And I was filling it up every 2 or 3 days with a water hose. And I saw some people online that was using these, and some of them were putting them through the side, and this thing floats up and turns the water off, little needle valve in here. But then you got to make sure you seal this up and you have a hole through the side of your reservoir. So I got to looking at it and I thought, well, it's got an adjustment on it. So you can just bend your float up like this, tighten it back up. And so when the reservoir is full, this float is up and the valve is cut off. As the tomatoes use up the water and the water level drops, this float goes down, lets the water come on, and fills it back up. So it keeps your reservoir full all the time. It's really good. So with that, I'm going to drill a hole. It doesn't matter where it goes. You know, you got to kind of, you wouldn't want it up against the side, but I'm thinking kind of right here would be a pretty good spot, be in the center. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use my step bit. So we're going to put it about right there. So I'll just start my hole with my step bit. And I know about how far I got to go down. It's not critical because it doesn't have to be watertight because you're in the top. See, that's fine right there. And so this will install, and you can adjust it however you like. When it'll come back up, when it'll come on and fill up. And then this just screws down on here like this. I may have to get a pair of pliers to get it down tight enough. I don't know. Okay, so there you go. Now let's look at it underneath. That's what it looks like. And so when that thing drops down, it's going to let the water hose cut on, and then when it fills up, it'll just cut off. So that's how it works. Now, how do you hook a water hose up to it? Well, I got an answer for that, if I can find it. This little piece right here. It's a 1/2-inch iron pipe to water hose. That's the old broken one. Anyway, it's a 1/2-inch iron pipe threads on one side, water hose connection on the other side. So take this thing right here, and I may have to come back and put some thread tape on it, but screw it on like that, put your water hose into this, turn it on, and forget it. Again, set it and forget it. That's what I like about this stuff. All right, so I'm going to finish that up, and then I'll come back and show you it all put together. Okay, so here's my reservoir. It's all finished up. There's the outlet for the Carc valve that I just installed. All it's left to do is just connect up a water hose there. I have finished installing my drain line. You can see I installed a new valve right here, and it's turned off right now. So, and here's my valve up here. It goes to the main line. So when I get ready to empty out my reservoir, every 2 weeks, I'll turn this valve off, turn that valve on, flip the switch on the pump. It'll pump all the old nutrient out. I'll turn my hose back on. It'll fill it all the way up, and the valve will cut it off. The automatic valve will cut it off. And then I'll go back up there to the other end on the piece I showed you I put on the end of the drain lines, and I'll pull my nutrient solution in. I'll be good to go. It'll take 5 minutes every 2 weeks. So that's my completed reservoir using the tote from Home Depot, the pump from Harbor Freight. That gold piece right there came from Home Depot. It's a garden hose, 1/2-inch to garden hose adapter. And then all this blue stripe pipe and fittings came from Berry Hill Irrigation here in Virginia. So that's a completed reservoir for a full Dutch bucket hydroponic system. Hey there, I want to share an idea I had while I was building my Dutch buckets this weekend. Every 2 weeks you change out your nutrient solution. You can take a look at MHPGardner's video on that. I use the exact same mixture that he does, but it seemed like I always put it off because I had to go back, take the top off the reservoir, pour it in. I was always spilling stuff, so it just made me just just put it off. So I had an idea while I was building this weekend, and this is the end of the drain tube right here. You can see it going. You can see the drains from the first bucket right here. This is the drain. And so my idea was pretty simple. I took the cap off. I took a 45, an 1.5 inch 45, a little short piece, 1.5 inch pipe, shoved the 45 on there like that, and now I mix up my nutrient solution in a little watering can like this, and then I just pour it right in, and it just drains right on down the drain line and back into the reservoir, and I'm good to go for another 2 weeks. So if you got a drain line that ends and terminates like this, put your little 45 on it, make it a whole lot easier to change out your nutrients.